Good morning from the woods, everyone. My first find of the day is a gourd. Fascinating. Anyways, today is supposed to be the last decently warm day of this warm front. It's going to be about 70 and really cloudy today. But I'm out anyways, hoping that there will be something out enjoying this last warm day before we get a cold spell. Hoping to at least see a couple of snakes today, but we'll see. First herp of the day, little slimy salamander. Good looking one too. Guess it's gonna be a salamandery day. Marbled salamander right here. There's another one right there, but it sucked back in its hole. All right guys, here's our next snake of the day. This guy is kind of well hidden in the leaf litter there, but there's a little brown snake. Get over here and give you guys a better look at him right there. Buddy, yeah, this guy's cold. Must have just started to come out for the day. He's in shed. This is the second snake I've seen today. The first one was the little Nerodia thing that got away, jumped out of a tree into the water. I don't have any idea what it was. So, species number 2 for the day, and hopefully not the last. I'm gonna put this guy back in his leaves and keep walking. So there's a turtle right here swimming in circles, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm gonna try to grab him and figure out if he's injured or if he's just stuck or what. You see him right there. Now I'm injured and stuck. So many briars down here, Jesus Christ. I think he might just be stuck on that briar right there. Buddy, you all good? Little yellow-bellied slider. He doesn't appear to have anything wrong with him. I think he might have actually just been stuck on that briar right there, so I'm gonna put him back and leave him to it. Next snake of the day, beautiful ribbon snake in situ right here. And off he goes. It's 3 so far, not too bad. That is a lot of fire ants. That is kind of strange. There's a turtle right here that I'm gonna try to catch. I think it's an eastern mud turtle, which would be the first one of those I've seen here. Kind of a weird thing to see basking. You can see him right there. Got him. Mostly due to his own fault. He just kind of toppled over backwards and I was able to catch him. But yeah, eastern mud turtle. Pretty cool. First one of these I've seen here, and first one for 2020. Male. You can tell because the concave plastron. Alright, I'm just going to put this guy back in the water right here where he was found, and hopefully he will either swim off or come out and bask again. Alright guys, next snake of the day, there's a cottonmouth basking right there. I'm actually going to try to get a couple of in situ photos of this guy because he's sitting so nicely. So that first cottonmouth was sitting right there, and I couldn't even see that one from the angle that I was at because of the leaf that's right there, but you might be able to see him in the video I posted earlier. But that guy is up in a branch right above the water. Second cottonmouth for the day. That is the third cottonmouth for the day. I didn't record one of them. All right, guys, here's our next snake of the day. Looks to be a juvenile southern black racer sitting right here on this piece of bark. Yep, look at that. I'm gonna get an in situ. Let me get a few pictures real quick. This little guy is stretched out in the perfect place to soak up some of this intense sunlight we're getting right now. So I'm just gonna leave him to it and keep on hiking. I think this is our 8th snake of the day. With this rather extended period of cold weather coming, I was really hoping that today would be a little more productive, just to hold me over while this cold front's here. But felt like it would be a good day to get my first king or timber, eastern king or timber of the year. But no luck yet. All right, guys, I was walking the top of this log right here and glanced over at that stump, and there is a beautiful copperhead sitting on top of the stump off the ground. That is awesome. Well, if this is the coolest thing I see all day, then that is okay with me, because this is an awesome in situ right here, coiled at the top of this kind of elevated position off the ground. I always love seeing vipers off the ground. It's fascinating to me that they'll bask elevated positions. I'm guessing to be warmer on a day like today, where more of the sun is actually at the top of this stump than if you were to be basking down on the ground somewhere right there. Good looking copperhead nonetheless. I'm going to leave this guy right here and see if I can find anything else. All right, guys, the day is definitely starting to wind down, but Richard and Jim met me out here, and we've got our next snake, a little brown snake, sitting above the water in a bramble. Pretty cool in situ. But we're just gonna leave that guy right there and keep hiking. Hopefully, we've got at least a couple more snakes in store for us today.
Really sick.
Yeah, that's really strange. Eastern box turtle just hanging out right here in the water in January. Get a look at this girl. Hey there. You look like you are very, very wet and probably don't want to be down here in the water, but it's flooded, so you don't have much of a choice. Here's our next snake of the day, a brown water snake through the vegetation. I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of this guy, but I'm guessing the answer is no. Next snake of the day, a little ribbon snake that just swam off into the water right there. Oh. Alright guys, there's a red-bellied water snake basking right there in the shade. I'm gonna slip down there and try to grab this guy. I really want to get this one in hand, so we'll see how this goes. Alright guys, there we go. Yeah. Big, beautiful red-bellied water snake. Whoop. Look at that belly. Anyways, this is the first one of these I've seen this year. Really good looking individual. He's a little bit blistered up from being underground, but pretty cool. I'm gonna let him go, and we are gonna see what else we can find. All right, guys, next snake of the day, just flipped this little cottonmouth under a log, and he's given us the full display for sure. Tail wagging, mouth open. This is, I think, like the 4th cottonmouth of the day. Probably the most common snake I've seen today so far. What a terrifying snake. Rattling his tail, opening his mouth. All right, guys, I am headed out. It was a pretty productive day. We ended up seeing like probably around a dozen snakes, if I had to guess, maybe a little bit more. Copperhead was definitely the highlight. It was nice to see him basking up in that tree, always interesting. Anyways, I'm headed home right now. We have a serious cold front coming in that's gonna drop temps below freezing every night for pretty much the next 10 days or so. And the daytime highs aren't gonna be high enough to really even look for snakes. So I might do a couple salamandering videos during that time frame. Anyways, I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.